Welcome back to another midnight session. Tonight, we're diving into something that keeps so many people up at night, the eternal question of whether we should be with someone similar to us or someone who complements us.
Oh, the classic birds of a feather versus opposites attract dilemma. I actually got a fascinating listener question about this exact thing.
Let me guess. Someone who's attracted to their partner's differences, but frustrated by them at the same time.
Exactly. A 28-year-old woman who met her boyfriend through shared interests like travel and cafe hopping. But now, their personality differences are causing friction.
That's such a common pattern. We connect over surface-level similarities, but then deeper personality traits start to emerge. What kind of differences are we talking about?
She's a planner, he's spontaneous. She's frugal, he's a spender. Classic, complementary opposites. But it's causing daily stress.
But here's what's interesting. She admits she was initially drawn to his spontaneous nature because it was something she lacked. That's textbook complementarity psychology.
Right. It's like we're attracted to people who have qualities we wish we had, but then those same qualities drive us crazy in everyday situations.
I've definitely experienced this in my own dating life. I remember being fascinated by this guy who was incredibly methodical. I'm more of a creative flow type. But then, his need to analyze every restaurant choice started feeling suffocating.
Was that the jazz musician you mentioned before? Or someone different?
Different guy entirely. The jazz musician was actually quite similar to me. We both lived in that creative, spontaneous headspace. But you know what? That relationship had its own challenges.
Ah, so similarity brings its own problems too. What kind of issues did you face when you were two alike?
We enabled each other's worst habits. Neither of us was good with money management, so we'd blow our budgets on music equipment and late-night adventures. And when we both got moody, there was no one to balance it out.
That's a really insightful point. Sometimes we need someone to be our opposite to keep us grounded. Like having a oshimen who's totally different from your usual type.
I love that comparison. So going back to our listener's dilemma, she's caught between appreciating the balance her boyfriend brings and being frustrated by their differences. What would you suggest?
I think the key is understanding the difference between surface-level irritations and fundamental incompatibilities. Money and planning styles can be negotiated, but core values usually can't.
That's such a crucial distinction. It sounds like they share the core value of wanting to experience life together. Travel, exploration, quality time. The how is what they're disagreeing on.
Exactly. And there's something beautiful about learning to compromise on the how while staying true to the what. She could try embracing some spontaneity. He could respect her need for some structure.
I'm curious about your take on this because you seem to embrace differences pretty enthusiastically. How do you navigate when someone's approach is completely opposite to yours?
Well, I try to focus on the intention behind their approach rather than the method. Like with my research work, some colleagues are very systematic, while I'm more experimental. but we're all trying to solve the same problems.
That's really wise. So in our listener's case, both she and her boyfriend want enjoyable experiences. She just wants to ensure they happen smoothly, while he wants to ensure they happen authentically.
Right. And maybe they could create a hybrid approach, plan the big picture together, leave room for spontaneity in the details.
I love that. It reminds me of jazz improvisation. You need the structure of chord progressions, but within that framework, you can be completely free and spontaneous.
That's a perfect metaphor. Relationships need both the chord changes and the improvisation. Too much structure kills the magic. Too little creates chaos.
But here's the thing I'm wondering about. How do you know when differences are enriching versus when they're just incompatible? What's the line between growth and frustration?
I think it comes down to respect and willingness to understand. If both people are curious about why the other person operates differently, that's growth territory.
That makes sense. But if someone is constantly trying to change their partner or feeling like they need to fundamentally alter themselves, that's probably not sustainable.
Absolutely. I think our listener needs to ask herself, do I want to understand his approach better? Or do I want him to just adopt mine?
And vice versa. True complementarity requires both people to stretch and grow, not just one person accommodating the other's style.
You know what I find interesting about this whole topic is how it reflects broader questions about personal growth. Do we grow more through similarity or through difference?
Probably both, but in different ways. Similarity gives us validation and confidence to be ourselves. Difference challenges us to expand who we are.
And maybe the healthiest relationships have both, a foundation of shared values with enough difference to keep things interesting and growth-oriented.
I think that's what our listener is actually discovering. She and her boyfriend do share that foundation. They both value experiences and adventure. They're just learning how to navigate their different approaches to achieving those shared goals.
Well, we're running out of time, but I think we've touched on something really universal here. Whether it's romantic relationships, friendships, or even work partnerships, we're all trying to find that sweet spot between comfort and growth.
To our listener and everyone else navigating these waters, remember that the best partnerships aren't about finding someone exactly like you or completely different from you. They're about finding someone who shares your vision for the journey, even if you disagree on the route.